Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we will be taking a look at the Pelican 2370 LED flashlight. Please stay tuned. I'm actually very excited about this review because Pelican is not a name that you think of when you think about flashlight. It's a name that you think about when you talk about these military grade indestructible cases. I've been using these throughout my Navy career, or not throughout, but partially through my Navy career at the end. And even where I work now, we put a lot of gear that we want to keep safe when we're transporting it in these indestructible Pelican cases. Anybody who's in the military or law enforcement or into photography and things like that, you know Pelican cases are number one when it comes to protecting your gear. These things just indestructible and can handle all kinds of environmental conditions. It even has like a little air pressure valve in it. I mean, just unbelievable. So when I found out that Pelican makes flashlights, I was absolutely excited, and I'm very happy to do a review here. So we'll go ahead and open this up and see what we got. Now, they make many flashlights. This particular one, the 2370, is a multicolor flashlight, and I thought it'd be pretty cool to take a look at this and at the same time compare it to one of my all-time favorite value flashlights, the Coleman Max LED multicolor flashlight, because I love this, and I love the ability to go from white, red, blue, and this flashlight does exactly the same thing, but it has some features that I think make it better. So let's go ahead and take a close look at it and start going over the specs. So here's what you get with the flashlight. I went ahead and took out the innards out of the packaging here. One thing that I really like about it is that they give you the specifications right on the front of the packaging. Really cool. I like it when manufacturers do that. They give you your light output. This is a 106 lumen flashlight as far as the high setting, and it also has a low setting of 13 lumens. Unlike the Coleman Max, it just has one setting, so I'm already liking this just because of that. And one of the reasons is you don't need to have it on high all the time or it's going to go through the battery. You can put it on a low setting, conserve your battery, and the low setting might be all you need. So for high, it lasts 3.5 hours on the batteries, and on the low setting you get 41 hours of life out of your batteries. And they also give you the beam distance and peak beam intensity, things like that. Now, another thing I like is that this uses AA batteries, which it comes with a pair of Duracell. Unlike the Coleman Max and a lot of other flashlights that have this little holder where you got to put 3 AAAs in it, which are slightly less common, ends up just a little bit more expensive. I prefer the AA's. That's probably one of the most abundant size battery there is, so that gives you more flexibility and more ability to obtain a power source. Power sauce. Now, you get something else on here. We'll go ahead and start unpackaging this while I'm talking. One other thing that we will see right off the bat is you get a clip. Coleman Max, you don't get a clip. No clip. Another thing, if you notice, Coleman Max rolls. A lot of flashlights out there roll. This one, it doesn't quite roll as much because they have these rid or flat spots here all around, so it, you could set it down and it won't roll. Now, they're not very deep, so it'll stay put. Also, the clip here also helps it stay put. Now, this clip is removable, so if you want to take it off, you can take the tail cap off. And I already put a set of batteries in here because I was playing with it because I couldn't resist since I got it. And you can go ahead and remove this clip. It's a little tough, but it will come off. I'm not going to go ahead and take it off, but it does come off. Now another thing you'll notice, and I'll go ahead and bring this in really close, as you can see there's a gasket right there because this is water resistant. It does state that on the front of the packaging. You could, well, it doesn't. It states it on the website that it is water resistant. Doesn't state it on the packaging. Kind of strange. I'll go ahead and get that screwed down in there. Now you can see it tells you how to put your batteries in there on the tail cap. It also tells you don't throw your batteries in the trash can. That's kind of strange, but I guess they're being environmentally conscious. Now one thing here that stands out on this flashlight is this ring. Now this is a ring that supposedly works magnetically to change to the different colors in the flashlight. Sort of very similar to the Coleman. And it's white, red, blue. Now this says WRB. On the Pelican it just says 1, 2, 3, but it's the same thing. It is white, red, and blue. Now, like I said, that this is magnetically actuated, so you know there's less moving parts because of that, so this should last a very long time with no problem. And let's go ahead and try it out. Now you have a tail cap and turn it on, and I got it set to blue, so let's go ahead and set it to red, or set it to white there. So you can see there's the low and there's the high. And you see you got to sort of sequence through. It goes high, off, low, off. Really easy to use, no problem. Now you also get the momentary. You know, I had one flashlight that I reviewed just a little while ago. The what was it? The Rayovac. I think Rayovac makes one. The Roughneck. It didn't have a momentary, which really sucked. So you want to have, especially in a tactical flashlight, you want a momentary where you just press down lightly on the tail cap and you get a momentary. So let's take a comparison view on the brightness of this. I got some notes here. You'll see the edge of it right here, where the Coleman here is 115 lumens. This is 106 lumen, the Pelican. But when you go ahead and let's go white here. When you put them together, you could see that actually the Pelican seems to be just a little bit brighter. So I'm not sure how they rate it. Now one of the reasons why might be because the flood on the Pelican is just a hair smaller. I mean, I'm going to hold them equal distance from the thing here, and you could see that the Pelican has a slightly smaller flood. The spots are exactly the same. So because some of that light is being I guess made smaller in the flood, it's a little more concentrated. So that'll maybe sort of explain how this could be a lower lumen but still have a brighter overall kind of look to it. Also, the Pelican just seems to be just a little bit whiter, a little bit crisper. They both of these flashlights have a very, very clean flood, a very clean light. There's no weird artifacts going on that you see with a lot of cheap flashlights. The reason why is because if you look at that reflector, it is known as an orange peel reflector. You see how it has all those ridges in there? That helps smooth out the light. The Coleman actually has that too. So I really like to see that in a flashlight. I like to see that orange peel kind of thing going on there. It really gives you a nice clean light. So let's take a look at the other colors real quick. I did show you the white. Let's take a look at the red. You can see it's very dim. So what would you use the red light for? I'm asking you, you know? Raise your hand. The red is good for when it's really dark at night and you don't want to lose your night vision. And you could just go ahead and, you know, barely make out what you need to see and, you know, not blind yourself with the light. Now, there is a disadvantage to this, and this is very important. Like if you're looking at a chart, this actually, you know, applies to for the military folks like me who would look at a nautical chart, and a lot of times you'll have wrecks and shoal water and things that you need to stay away from marked in red. Well, guess what? When you're looking at it with a red light, you can't tell it's red. So you want to use blue. And this is blue. It's hard to see because this is the blue mat, but there you go. It's blue. So what do you use blue for? Well, supposedly tracking blood. I don't hunt, so I don't know how well it does that. But this also, you know, helps with night vision. It's better than white. And if you have to try to preserve some of your night vision, and especially if you're looking at charts and things like that, you can go ahead and use the blue light. So let's go over some of the other specs here. Again, it's 106 lumen, 13 lumen low, 3.5 hours of life. Actually, on the website it says 3 hours 45 minutes of life on that battery, and on low it's 41 hours or 15 minutes. 41 hours 15 minutes. It is water resistant. It does use 2 AA batteries, which I like, which makes it a 3-volt system. The length is 6 and 6.43 inches, and it weighs 6.5 ounces. So not too bad. That's with the batteries in it. Doesn't really make too much sense to tell you the weight without the batteries, because you're not going to carry it that way. Now, this is made out of aircraft grade aluminum. It really just feels like a rock solid, just like the Pelican cases. I'll tell you, this really lives up to the name Pelican. Now, other things that I really like about this is, again, bring in one of my favorite flashlights, the Coleman. The knurling on this thing, take a look at that. Let me see if I can really bring that in. You can see it's very aggressive. It helps you really maintain a really good grip on it. It's not going anywhere. Speaking of not going anywhere, this thing does come with a clip that's extremely thick or stiff, and it's kind of thick, but it's nice and stiff. It'll hold on to anything you need for it to hold on to. So it's a good thing it's stiff, because you know it is 6.5 ounces. You want something that's gonna grip whatever you're clipping this onto. So it does that very well. Now, another benefit over these 3 AAA battery type designs is that the barrel here is thinner than this. So if you want to, let's say, mount this onto a shotgun or mount it to a gun of some sort, your mount is more likely able to fit this size barrel than this. Now, I don't know how this would hold up strapping it to a gun, but I have a feeling it would do quite well. This thing is just incredibly sturdy. Now, let's talk about the cons, because you know I can nitpick anything, even the best of the best. One thing is this switch, the switch between the colors. I would have liked it to be more similar to the Coleman, where it says white, red, blue, but it really doesn't take a very high IQ to remember where these need to go. And it's nice that you know that white is always over and red is always in the middle, so you can sort of feel where they need to go in case it's really dark. Another thing that I do prefer the Coleman is how smooth this sounds. I'm going to go ahead and move this over to the mic. Here it's a nice clicky sound. Now, This guy, it's magnetic, but it does sound a little bit grittier. It does not change the function or affect the function of the flashlight at all. And because this thing is a magnetic type switch, it's going to last a lot longer than the mechanical one that's on the Coleman. So if you have a need for a multicolor flashlight where you don't have to sit there and change the filters, and have to carry them separately, this really is just about or is a perfect solution. This flashlight does come with a lifetime limited warranty. Pelican is very good on warranties. And it's a good thing because I'm going to go ahead and do some drop testing here real quick. We'll go ahead. This is a hard surface here, so I'm just going to maybe 2 feet. Drop it. Still works. Let's see. This is about 5 feet. But it's on the carpet. But that was hard for 2 feet. So, still works. Let's run through the lights. So, looks really good. One thing I wanted to also sort of state is it doesn't look like that the colors have a high-low. That's just one setting. The red is basically always the same lumen, and the blue is always the same lumen. And it's only the white that gets high and low, just so you know. Which makes sense, and it's, yes, it makes sense. Another thing I like is that the glass here, or it's like a polycarbonate cover over the light here, is sort of in a little bit, so, if you put it down, it doesn't get scratched on anything. So really very, very good design. A lot of things to like about this. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I highly, highly recommend this flashlight, especially for what you could get it for. I went online and did a search and found it for as low as $40. That's a lot of features, a lot of quality from a good company for 40 bucks. But you'll find it for about $40 to $50, which is only about $10 more than my favorite Coleman. So this will be still be my favorite cheapo, and this will be my favorite slightly more than cheapo. And right now, this is probably my all-time favorite flashlight that I have right now. So thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really, really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you. And I hope you have a great, great evening. Take care.